Facebook. This is Ask Angelika, episode 18, with myself and, of course, Angelika. Good afternoon, Angelika.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Hallo, guten Tag, guten Abend. Guten Abend could be as well.
Oh ja. Wie geht's?
Mir geht es sehr gut. Und dir?
Mir auch. Now, we're just practicing that beforehand, so I didn't get it too wrong. Right, now, today's topic, and I'll hand over to you in a moment. Well, you explain today's topic, and I take that off the screen and welcome everybody who's watching us and take it from there.
Okay, today's topic is something that a lot of Germans think the Brits are absolutely, that's all they talk about.
We do.
What is it that the Brits always talk about? The weather. And they always moan about it as well. Yeah, if the weather is bad, they moan about it. And then you have finally a nice day. And then they moan because it's too hot. And then they moan when the fine day has finished far too quickly and all that. And of course, there's a lot of rubbish because not all British people moan about the weather, and the Germans can do it as well. So how can we talk about it? Well, if you are obsessed with the weather, even if you're not obsessed with the weather, but you just like to know about it, why not use that to practice some German? One way could be by finding German news, either on German TV, if you can get hold of it, or a lot of the German news channels now have their own websites as well. So you could watch the news there and the weather forecast, because the nice thing is when you're watching a weather forecast on TV rather than listening to it, you always see the lovely pictures behind, and even if you don't understand a word they're saying, you can probably guess most of it. But you can also use it for a reading exercise. I found a website, there are lots more, but the one I found was wetteronline.de. And I sort of had a look around, and there's lots of it with, again, like I said, with pictures. So they have a map with the rainforest, forest forecast. They have maps with the wind and all sorts of things, and text. And I actually found the weather forecast, or the predicted weather forecast for this coming weekend. So I thought we can have a look at some of those sentences. Now, bear in mind that the weather forecast website is not aimed at German learners. It is also not aimed at children. So it isn't easy text. It is straightforward, normal German weather forecast text, which may be difficult for beginners.
It may be difficult. Well, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to read it in German, then you can read it properly. Am langen Pfingstwochenende betreiben kräftige Gewitter schwulwarme Luft südwärts.
Yes, that's a pretty good attempt. Am langen Pfingstwochenende vertreiben kräftige Gewitter schwülwarme Luft südostwärts. Now, as a beginner, well, obviously you're not a complete beginner, but somebody who's still sort of in the early stages of learning German, but they've picked up some weather words, they've picked up some sort of basic vocabulary. If they see this sentence, they probably don't understand the whole, well, they most likely won't understand the whole sentence, but they may be able to pick up some words. Are you able to pick up some words? Just words, not even worrying about the sentence.
Okay, Pfingstwochenende. Now, consider Wochenende is weekending. Pfingst.
Yeah.
What is
Pfingst is something special. That's only this weekend, and that's Whitsun.
Right, okay.
And that's why it says am langen Pfingstwochenende, because in Germany they do have Whitsun Sunday and Monday, which means they do have a long weekend. So, but even if you didn't know what Pfingsten is, and anyway, if you're looking every week, that wouldn't be there anyway. So it may only be then Wochenende or any of the days of the week, depending on when you're looking and what you're looking for.
Okay.
Can you find a keyword that's telling you a little bit about the weather?
Schwül warmer.
What could that be?
Well, I'm going to take a fly here and say that the ending warmer means warm, and schwül, I don't know. So, can you sort of explain what that is?
We need to look at that one together with a noun, because schwülwarm is the adjective, so it's describing something, and the word next to it, Luft,
Wind,
air, and it's actually muggy air.
Okay.
But what's happening to the muggy air?
It's moving southwards.
A bit more.
Southeastwards.
Southeastwards, and why is it moving southeastwards? What's doing it?
Kräftige Gewitter.
Yeah.
Which is thunderstorms.
Yeah, Gewitter is a thunderstorm, and kräftig, you've got the word Kraft in there with the strength, so it's strong thunderstorms. So actually, it doesn't look too brilliant for Germany for the Whitsun long weekend, because strong thunderstorms banish the muggy air southeastwards, which sounds good because it means the muggy air is gone. But if you've made plans for going out and doing day trips or whatever, you don't really want thunderstorms.
Indeed. Agreed. Now, the English translation is, at the long Whitsun weekend, strong thunderstorms banish muggy air southeastwards. So, and okay, you like the next one?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, and number 2. When I find it, just give me a second. Right, number 2. I'm going to try and read. Am Samstag besteht fast landesweit und Wettergefahr durch Starkregen, Hagel und schwere Sturmböen. Okay, now I've made a mess of that. Yours, over to you.
Am Samstag besteht fast landesweit Unwettergefahr durch Starkregen, Hagel und schwere Sturmböen. So again, looking for keywords. First of all, we know which day they're talking about.
Yes, Samstag, which is Saturday.
Yeah.
Unwettergefahr. Starkregen, I'm going to go with that because Regen is rain. So heavy rain?
Yeah, so severe weather, heavy rain, yes. Hagel, you may be able to guess, because the English word starts with an H as well.
Hail.
Yeah.
Hail and storm, I'm going to go with thunderstorms.
Well, Sturm, again, is your storms, and Sturmböen, those are severe storms, so very, very windy and that. So if you're thinking that we're having severe weather or very heavy rain, hail, severe storms, what could Unwettergefahr be? Gefahr? Gefahr you may have seen before. I don't know.
Well, far is to drive.
Yeah, this got nothing to do with driving now. It's Gefahr, which is danger.
Right, okay. Danger of Wetter is weather, and Unwetter.
Yeah, that's sort of, that makes it negative. So again, it's a very severe weather.
Right.
Yeah. So on Saturday, there is danger of severe weather with hail and severe storms. And where is it? The word landesweit will tell us that.
Nationwide.
Yes, it is.
Right. Okay.
So it doesn't sound very good at all for Saturday, does it?
It doesn't. No. Thank you, everybody who's watching us. If you want to join us on there, just click the link. But when you click the link, and I know Stephen's come to join us. Stephen, if you could refresh, and then before you come in, click the cog on the right-hand side and select your camera and your microphone. Because at the moment, I know you're trying to come in, but I can't see your feed. So what you need to do is refresh the browser. When you come back in, press the cog, check, get your camera and your microphone, and then we'll be able to bring you in and you can ask Angelika questions. To everybody who's watching, if you would like to, please share out the show. That would make us happy, make Angelika happy, because more people see the show, so that's brilliant. And we'll go back to our topic of the day, which is the weather, and the next one, which is number 3. And again, I'm going to sort of try. In Bayern kann es noch 30 Grad Eis werden.
In Bayern kann es noch 30 Grad heiß werden.
And so that's Marky. Welcome, Marky. Right. So our sentences. So Bayern is a city.
Oh, don't let them know that it's not a city.
Right. And Stephen's saying Guten Tag, and Mark is saying thank you. So thank you for that. I'm going to go again with this. Okay. Bayern is Bavaria. So apologies to everybody in Bavaria. And 30 Grad is 30 degrees, and heiß is warm, and werden is the future tense of it is. So we'll in Bayern it can be 30 degrees.
We've got the noch, which means still. So in Bavaria it can still be 30 degrees. So it looks like they have the better weather, possibly.
It does. Certainly better than in Wiltshire at the moment. We were going to sit out for lunch and it started to rain. Right, okay. And on to the next one. And again, I'll try and read the German. Am Sonntag fällt vor allem in Süden kräftiger Dauerregen.
Dauerregen. Am Sonntag fällt vor allem im Süden kräftiger Dauerregen.
Okay. Right, im Süden is in the south.
Yeah.
Am Sonntag is Sunday.
Yeah.
And Dauerregen, is that right? I've got it wrong again. Dauerregen. Yeah, okay. Regen is rain. Dauer. What is Dauer?
Well, it is heavy rainfall again, but actually it just continuous heavy rainfall. Dauer is sort of, it means continuous. So the Bavarians may have had 30 degrees, or may have, not have had, because it hasn't happened yet, may have 30 degrees on Saturday, but on Sunday they will have rain, and pretty heavy, because we've got the kräftiger again. And that's especially in the south, which means the Bavarians and possibly other people as well.
And again, my apologies to Bavaria. Right, and the fifth one today, which I'm just going to pre-read before I put it on screen. You'll understand why in a moment. Am Pfingstmontag gibt es bald nur noch 16 bis 21 Grad Schauerwetter, teils mit Blitz und Donner. Would you read that, please?
Am Pfingstmontag gibt es bei nur noch 16 bis 21 Grad Schauerwetter, teils mit Blitz und Donner.
I'm getting better.
So, even beginners probably recognize 2 words, even if it means they're thinking of reindeers.
Blitz und Donner. And that's lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, Montag and Pfingst we had earlier, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So Whitsun Monday.
Yes.
Gives temperatures between 16 degrees and 21 degrees. Showers. Showerwetter.
Yeah.
Shower.
Yeah.
So showers between Right.
It's bei nur noch, which means sort of with only. Yeah, if you remember, on Saturday, Bavaria may get 30 degrees, but by Monday, there will be showers with only 16 to 21 degrees. That's almost winter temperatures.
Right.
Well, that's an English summer, actually, isn't it?
On Whitsun Monday, there are showers with only 16 to 21 degrees, some with lightning and thun. You can imagine the Durs there. We ran out of text.
Oh, right.
Right. And just to mention out to Stephen, and just to read Stephen's comment, it's only when I see a fluent German speaker do I realise how far I have to go even to establish the basics. However, picking certain words out of the sentences I recognise does help massively. Would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, and that's exactly what that's for listening, of course, as well, just as much as reading. Yeah, I mean, I've picked up sentences here which aren't very easy, but because you know what these sentences are about, and whether Stephen is listening to me say those sentences, or to you earlier on, or reading them, he may not understand all the sentences, but you can pick up the keywords. And very often, and that applies to anybody learning any foreign language, we always look at, oh my goodness, I don't understand any of this. And we're always concerned about everything we don't understand yet. We should really, and that includes me as well, I'll try not to, but I do the same as everybody else. What we should really do is, we should be over the moon when we find words we do recognize. So when we read, am Pfingstmontag gibt es nur noch 16 bis 21 Grad Schauerwetter, teils mit Blitz und Donner. Yeah, we should be over the moon. We recognize Montag. Yay! 16 bis 21, we may know that it depends on how far somebody has learned German now, yeah? And that, so we should really look at the words we already know and be really happy about that, instead of always looking at all the other words that we don't know yet, which we actually don't do very often in our own language.
Oh, that's true. Very true.
If you read an English newspaper or something online, because hardly anybody reads newspapers anymore, and you come across a word that you don't know, how often do you go and look it up? Very rarely.
Occasionally.
Sometimes,
rarely,
yeah, if it's really, really something important and you think, oh, what's that word? I want to know. But most of the times we just scan over it because we understand everything else and it isn't really that important to know that word. But if we're reading something in a foreign language, we start panicking when we don't understand everything.
True. And I mean, basically, as you're actually learning language, you pick words up naturally, but there are always going to be some words that you've not come across before.
Yes. How long have I been in England now?
A while.
35 years in next month. And I'm afraid to say there are still a lot of English words that I've never heard. Well, and I've been here longer than a lot of other people.
There are quite a few northern words that have come into your vocabulary.
Yes,
as well. Right. Okay. Anyway, on with the back on track.
Yeah.
And our final
one more sentence.
Final sentence for the day, which I'm going to read, and then you're going to say it perfectly. Immerhin können Allergiker aufatmen. You said they are difficult. Aufatmen, denn der Regen wäscht die Pollen aus der Luft. Okay, thank you for that. Now, what's that when it's read properly?
Immerhin können, and the next word you sort of read it in English, but it probably means that you know you understand it as well. Immerhin können Allergiker aufatmen, denn der Regen wäscht die Pollen aus der Luft.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I did misread the word. Can you say it again?
Allergiker.
Allergiker. I'm going to go with allergies. Yeah.
Almost. Allergie is the allergy. Allergiker is somebody who suffers from allergies.
So a person who is suffering from an allergy. Okay. The other words that I recognise are Regen, from rain, and pollen is the same, and that's good. And Luft, we all know. So I'm going to say the rain will wash away the pollen out of the air.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the first word, immerhin. Immer is always.
Immerhin. Immerhin is a bit of a tricky word. In this case here, it means something like at least.
Ah, okay. All right.
So at least allergy sufferers can do what?
Können aufat. Aufatmen. I can. Können, can. Got that. Auf is out from. Go on. Explain the word I can't pronounce.
Well, ignore the auf for a minute. We've got atmen. And atmen means to breathe. Now, we've got the auf in front of it, because if I said immerhin können Allergiker atmen, then that would mean at least they can breathe, as in before they couldn't.
Okay, yeah. So
that would be a bit dangerous. If they couldn't breathe, that wouldn't be very good. Okay. So we've got the aufatmen because that's a bit of a sigh of relief. The pollen is gone. Right. We can have a better life. But translated, it would be again as breathe, really.
Right. I'm just going to read that in English, which I can do, and then I'm going to switch to Stephen's point. At least allergy sufferers can breathe because the rain will wash the pollen out of the air. And that was our final one and of the day. So that was the weather. And we have a comment from Stephen, and it relates to something that we said earlier. That's very true. The identification of certain words give me personally a boost, and it's indicative of some retention. However, just a caveat, and this is a compliment to you, Angelika. Your English is first rate.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm just one of the lucky ones. I don't sound very German. I don't have a very German accent. And, well, I've lived here long enough to know the vocabulary anyway, even if I don't understand all the northern words.
There's no wrong with that. There's no wrong with that. Dialects in the UK, no problem at all. So, do you want to say something about the website again, where people can go?
Oh, and this
way to learn German.
Yes, I mean this one is called wetteronline.de. There were several. I mean, if you just type into Google Wetter rather than weather, because then obviously you get all the English sites. And this one was that one that I saw. There were some other ones which are very similar, or you can go to German news TV stations where there are news, where they will also show a weather forecast. I did notice this site also had an app, and I thought, oh, that would be cool. But of course, I then downloaded it, and it then put everything in English. So the only way I could use that app in German would be if I changed my phone. So I uninstalled that one again because I've already got an English app there.
Or if we travel to Germany.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I think then you would have had to pay if you wanted European weather. But it would have been nice if you'd had an app about your own weather. Yeah. Which is really relevant to you. So instead of looking at the BBC app or whichever app you may have on your phone to see what the weather is like in Wiltshire or wherever else you live, then to read all that in German. But unless you change the whole phone, I guess it won't work. I was most disappointed.
I know you try apps and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Now, I've come up with an idea because I know you're always on the lookout for ways to help people learn German. And I found the Wetter Online Twitter account.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, if you were to follow that, you could actually then look for keywords in the tweets that they send out every day.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Have you seen any of their tweets? But I'm guessing they're tweeting weather tweets.
They're treating weather tweets, but
didn't.
not,
Yeah.
the tweets seem to be accompanied by a map, so you make disassembling it a lot easier. And a comment from Stephen.
Perfect. Yes.
Regional dialects vary in all countries. In German, even the term "good morning" varies enormously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Moin moin or guten Morgen. Yeah. Moin moin is used to be only used right up north, at the North Sea, and it's been for the last few years, I'm not sure how long, quite popular in other areas as well. And that could change again. So yes, it could all change depending on what's very popular. That's what makes learning a foreign language so difficult, because when you're teaching it, you teach the general stuff. Yes. Yeah, you teach the general German things, and not necessarily all the things which are fashionable, popular, and in various areas being used, because it can change so quickly. And again, that applies to every language. Yeah, the poor people are learning English in their textbooks. They come over here and then find that we don't speak like this either.
Well, yeah,
that's we need to learn.
True. Indeed, and I've learned a new phrase today, moin moin, and I've gobbled quite a few German phrases, but been learning along the way. It's great fun. And to anybody who's watching, would you like to mention the Ask Angelika Facebook group?
Yes, we have our Ask Angelika Facebook group, and we still have loads and loads of spaces for people to come and join us. And the idea is, although it's called Ask Angelika, the idea really is that anybody can ask a question and anybody can answer the questions as well. That's what I'm still looking for, which happened on a few occasions, but that's what I really like, that if somebody has a question about learning German or about Germany, that somebody else may even answer it and not necessarily me.
Right, and some further information on Moin Moin. And do join Ask Angelika. Everything that we're doing in this video and on Ask Angelika is free, and it's a place to learn. And Stephen is saying Moin Moin was common in Hamburg, the region of Schleswig. I'm told that High German is the most generic way. Is High German the most generic?
Yeah, that's Hochdeutsch. If you compare it to English, we have all our dialects here in English, and then we talk about the Oxford English, which is the proper English, so to speak. And we have something similar in Germany, and the Hochdeutsch or the Hannoveraner Deutsch, that is the proper, in inverted commas, German. I hope not many Germans are listening now, because they probably feel like shooting me now. Of course, I speak that German. So anybody who's learning German with me learns the proper German and not any Swabian or Bavarian or Hamburger northern dialects. But that is the problem, or not a problem, just like you would have, again, with any other language as well. Yeah, if somebody learns English and they learn it with a Scottish person, in comparison to somebody from Brighton or London or Newcastle,
there may be a difference.
Exactly.
There may be a difference. Okay. Well, as is our practice, we run for 20 minutes. Today we've done 30. It's been a pleasure. Would you like to wrap the show up, Angelika?
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for watching and listening, and hopefully learning. And I hope you will use some of those phrases. So maybe next time you want to talk about the weather in German, or you want to talk about the weather, you can throw some German words in there as well. And apart from that, I hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time. And it's Tschüss von mir.
Sorry, I nearly said and. Und Tschüss von mir. Bis später. Auf Wiedersehen. And just final comment from Stephen, because Stephen's been taking great part in this show and been very helpful. Thank you. Personal thank you. I'm trying to learn German for some time, albeit sporadically. This is by far and away the best resource I've seen. Thank you both so much.
Oh, thank you very much for that, and you're welcome.
Stephen, it's our pleasure, and as Angelika said, we'll return in 2 weeks. Take care and have a great weekend, everybody, and Black Hearts.
Okay. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
That's a pretty good attempt. Am langen Pfingstwochenende vertreiben kräftige Gewitter schwülwarme Luft südostwärts. Now, as a beginner, well, obviously you're not a complete beginner, but somebody who's still sort of in the early stages of learning German, but they've picked up some weather words, they've picked up some sort of basic vocabulary. If they see this sentence, they probably don't understand the whole, well, they most likely won't understand the whole sentence, but they may be able to pick up some words. Are you able to pick up some words? Just words, not even worrying about the sentence.
Okay. Pfingstwochenende. Now, consider Wochenende is weekending. Pfingst.
Yeah.
What is
right. Pfingst is something special. That's only this weekend, and that's Whitsun.
Ah, right. Okay.
And that's why it says am langen Pfingstwochenende, because in Germany they do have Whitsun Sunday and Monday, which means they do have a long weekend. So, but even if you didn't know what Pfingsten is, and anyway, if you're looking every week, that wouldn't be there anyway. So it may only be then Wochenende or any of the days of the week, depending on when you're looking and what you're looking for. Okay. Can you find a keyword that's telling you a little bit about the weather?
Schwül, warmer.
What could that be?
Well, I'm going to take a flyer here and say that the ending warmer means warm, and schwül, I don't know. So, can you sort of explain what that is?
We need to look at that one together with a noun, because schwülwarm is the adjective, so it's describing something, and the word next to it, Luft,
wind,
air, and it's actually muggy air.
Okay.
But what's happening to the muggy air?
It's moving southwards.
A bit more.
Southeastwards.
Southeastwards. And why is it moving southeastwards? What's doing it? A nice day, and then they moan because it's too hot, and then they moan when the fine day has finished far too quickly, and all that. And of course, there's a lot of rubbish, because not all British people moan about the weather, and the Germans can do it as well. So how can we talk about it? Well, if you are obsessed with the weather, even if you're not obsessed with the weather, but you just like to know about it, why not use that to practice some German? One way could be by finding German news, either on German TV, if you can get hold of it, or a lot of the German news channels now have their own websites as well. So you could watch the news there, and the weather forecast, because the nice thing is when you're watching a weather forecast on TV rather than listening to it, you always see the lovely pictures behind, and even if you don't understand a word they're saying, you can probably guess most of it. But you can also use it for a reading exercise. I found a website, there are lots more, but the one I found was wetteronline.de. And I sort of had a look around, and there's lots of it with, again, like I said, with pictures. So they have a map with the rainforest, forest forecast. They have maps with the wind and all sorts of things, and text. And I actually found the weather forecast, or the predicted weather forecast for this coming weekend. So I thought we can have a look at some of those sentences. Now, bear in mind that the weather forecast website is not aimed at German learners. It is also not aimed at children. So it isn't easy text. It is straightforward, normal German weather forecast text, which may be difficult for beginners.
it may be difficult. Well, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to read it in German, then you can read it properly. Am langen Pfingstwochenende betreiben kräftige Gewitter schwulwarme Luft südwärts.
Yes.
With this book. This is Ask Angelika, episode 18, with myself and, of course, Angelika. Good afternoon, Angelika.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Hallo, guten Tag, guten Abend. Oh yeah, guten Abend could be as well.
Oh yeah. Wie geht's?
Mir geht es sehr gut. Und dir?
Mir auch. Now, we're just practicing that beforehand, so I didn't get it too wrong. Right, now, today's topic, and I'll hand over to you in a moment. Well, you explain today's topic, and I take that off the screen, and welcome everybody who's watching us, and take it from there.
Okay, today's topic is something that a lot of Germans think the Brits are absolutely... That's all they talk about.
We do.
What is it that the Brits always talk about? The weather. And they always moan about it as well. Yeah, if the weather is bad, they moan about it. And then you have finally